You've felt it, haven't you? That strange sense of déjà vu when you open your phone in the morning. It's 8 a.m. and somehow millions of people have simultaneously decided to have the exact same opinion about a topic they didn't know existed yesterday. It's almost impressive, isn't it? The efficiency of it. But here's the thing, and I know you know this, it feels artificial because it is. We aren't losing our minds. We're just watching a very expensive, very loud puppet show. And for some reason, everyone else is pretending they can't see the strings. We used to call this propaganda. Now we call it the timeline. Today, let's just remind ourselves, you and me, how to step out of the theater, get some fresh air, and actually hear our own thoughts again. Because I have a suspicion that your own thoughts are a lot more interesting than whatever the algorithm is serving today.
Let's be honest with each other. We are a little bit lazy.
It is exhausting to have an original thought. It's heavy lifting. It is much easier to let the experts do the lifting for us. But look at who we've hired to do the thinking. We used to outsource our wisdom to Marcus Aurelius, or Seneca, or, I don't know, people who had actually lived through something. Now, we've outsourced it to the attention economy, and you know the game. You're smart enough to see the pattern. The news cycle isn't designed to inform you. It's designed to keep your cortisol levels just high enough that you can't look away. It's a stress-dispensing machine. And the influencers? Come on. We love them. They're entertaining. But let's not pretend they're philosophers. They are salespeople. They are selling you a lifestyle that doesn't exist, paid for by a crypto coin that will go to zero next Tuesday. We know this. You know this. But it's like junk food. We know it's garbage, but it's engineered to taste so good. So the first step to waking up, admit that we've been snacking on garbage, and maybe, just maybe, it's time to change the diet. Now, because you're a rational person, you know you can't just disconnect completely. You have to know what's going on. But you also hate being manipulated. I know I do. It's insulting, right? When a headline tries to emotionally blackmail you into clicking? Gross. That's why I started using Ground News. Think of it as a bias detector for smart people. Look at this. This is the blind spot feature. It's hilarious and terrifying. It shows you exactly what stories are being hidden from you based on your political bubble. It's like putting on those glasses from the movie They Live. Suddenly, you see the agenda. Ground News doesn't treat you like a child. It doesn't tell you what to think. It just lays the data on the table and says, here's the full picture. You figure it out. And that's what we want, right? Respect. Autonomy. If you're tired of the puppet show, grab the link in the description. It's the best way to keep your head clear in a messy world.
So, we've cleared the noise.
Now, where do we get the good stuff? You know, people treat history like it's homework. Eat your vegetables, read your history. But you and I know the truth. History is just high-quality gossip that stood the test of time. These aren't textbooks. These are strategy guides. You think politics is crazy right now? Read about the late Roman Republic. It makes our current situation look like a tea party. You think the economy is weird? Read about the tulip mania. Here's the secret that gives you the edge. Human nature doesn't change. The software hasn't been updated in 50,000 years. We just have faster phones. When you read the great books, the old stuff, you aren't studying the past. You're studying the present. You're building a repertoire. While everyone else is reacting to the headlines of the day, you're looking at the patterns of the century. That's not just being smart. That's a competitive advantage. That's seeing the matrix code. And here is the most liberating thing I can remind you of. You don't have to be a genius. You don't have to invent a new color. We put so much pressure on ourselves to have new ideas. But look at the greats. Look at the people we admire. They were master remixers. They took a little bit of stoicism, a little bit of modern psychology, a dash of their own experience, and they made a new recipe. That's what thinking for yourself actually means. It means you curate your own inputs. Instead of letting the algorithm spoon-feed you, you choose the menu. You mix history, economics, art, and weird sci-fi novels. And suddenly you start making connections that no one else sees. That's not magic. That's just having a better diet than everyone else.
Look, the world is loud. It's designed to be loud. And sometimes it feels lonely to be the one person in the room who isn't buying the hype. But you aren't alone. There are more of us than you think. People who are tired of the script. People who want to write their own lines. So keep reading, keep questioning, keep laughing at the absurdity of it all. Don't let them turn you into an NPC. You're too interesting for that. Think for yourself. It's the only rebellion that matters.